Hey guys, it's RJ Skyray01 here, and I haven't uploaded. Yeah, I haven't uploaded video over a month though because I've been busy with work and got another job as well. And also, if you've seen some of my YouTube shorts, I've been at the Game On Expo at Phoenix, which I'm living in here right now, but I'm not at Phoenix. I'm somewhere in Arizona. So when I was at the convention, I had pretty much a blast. It was the second time I went to the gaming convention or like other gaming conventions, etc. When I was over there, I got to meet Angry Video Game Nerd. He was actually a really cool guy, and he also performed Rex Viper at the concert over there. I also went to his panel, and then Tony Hawk was there. I was this close to have a chance to meet him. He was like really expensive. His autograph was like over $100. I mean, he's obviously Tony Hawk, and they have like signing autographs over there. They got like a wrestling show. I have uploaded in shorts. If you guys could see it, it's available. It was actually pretty fun. It feels like I was in WWE. And also they had like Living Tombstone performance on Saturday night. It was pretty. It was really a blast as well. When I was it feels like this was actually my first time I was at Experience concert. It was pretty loud, obvious. That's how concerts are, and yeah, that was the second time I went to the convention. It was the 10th anniversary for Game On Expo for Phoenix, and that's pretty much it. So today's video, what I'm gonna do is ranking the Pixar films from the very first Toy Story film to currently Inside Out 2. I know there's another Pixar movie coming out later this year. It's called Ilio, pretty sure. All right, I want to rank the first Toy Story film. Um, this is actually Pixar's first computer animated film, and Disney as well. Also Hollywood as well, which came out in 1995, 7 years before I was born. Tom Hanks, Tim Allen, really good actors voicing Woody and Buzz. My One of my lovable childhood memories watching this movie on VHS tape. I believe I have it somewhere in my storage. I'm pretty sure. So the first Toy Story film, the story is very memorable. It's the characters are very memorable. Going for the goat. It deserves being a goat. It's a classic film, and it's 2025. It's the 30th anniversary for Toy Story. Next one I'm gonna do is A Bug's Life. Um, it's a Pixar film. Not that much people really talked about it. I actually enjoy it when I was very little. I do like the characters. I do like the story. The main character Flick. He's he's one of my lovable childhood characters. And I do like the story where like ants are slaves to grasshoppers like that to feed them. I'm gonna go for the A tier. It's not the best Pixar film. It's one of the really great Pixar films, but it doesn't have that much attention as right now. But it's still enjoyable if you guys can watch it on Disney Plus. Toy Story 2, Pixar's first sequel film and third animated film. Fun fact: this film was originally going to be a video release back in 1999, but instead Pixar wanted it to be a theatrical release because they when they did the test screening, they thought it would be a very good sequel and it deserves to be a theatrical release. I agree with Pixar for that, and I do like the animation got way better than the first film, and the story was really good. And I do like they introduced more characters that make them iconic as well. Toy Story 2 deserves to be on the goat. Pixar still done it with the Toy Story series. I'm gonna say Toy Story 2 is my favorite out of other Toy Story films. Monsters Inc. Um, Quite possibly my favorite Pixar film, despite the other Toy Story films. But out of all other Pixar films, Monsters Inc. is actually my favorite Pixar film. I remember watching it on my DVD all the time, all the time. one of my family members told me when I was little watching this movie. They told she told me that I acted like when I was watching Sully doing the roar, I started uh, copying like how Sully does the roar. I don't remember that. I was a baby at the time. This movie came out Thanksgiving 2001. I was like 10 months when it's released. It goes on the S tier. I love the characters Sully and Mike. They're John Goodman, Billy Crystal, really good actors as well. Um, yeah, it goes on the go. Finding Nemo, the fifth Pixar film, and probably the first Pixar film I might have watched in theaters. I was 2 years old in 2003. Um, I'm gonna say I was impressed by the animation when I first watched it, cause when I was little, I would see like how realistic and much detail the animation is for 3D animation. I always thought they looked so realistic in real life. Um, I do love how much detail they put in. Like Pixar, like know exactly what they're gonna do, making these movies very successful and more money. Finding Nemo is a really loving movie. So really loving movie. Goes on the goat as always. The Incredibles. The second Pixar film I watched in theaters. Um, I gotta say, Pixar's badass movie, a superhero film, and the first movie to be having human protagonists of main characters. Syndrome is one of the best Pixar villains they made so far in 2004. Um, it also has memes as well, and I do love how serious the story was getting. It was written and directed by Brad Bird, who did The Iron Giant and The Incredibles 2 and Ratatouille. I'm gonna say this director and writer did an amazing job with this film, and the animation is very good. It goes on the goat. I still enjoy this movie till this day. All right, the car. Now we are entering the Cars franchise. This is actually the third Pixar film I watched in theaters. Back in 2006. Lightning McQueen goes to Radiator Springs, and he's trying to get out. All he has to do is fix the road. I do like the film as well. I enjoyed it. Um, I really like. So some people say the sequels aren't as good from the first movie, but people have opinions though. But for me, for Cars, it's really good. This is actually right after The Incredibles, because The Incredibles focuses on human protagonists, but Cars focus on cars. So I'm gonna go put it on the A tier. Like I said, it's not the best, but it's still a good enjoying movie. Ratatouille, yes, Ratatouille is quite possibly best written Pixar film and quite loving main character and quite loving main character Remy, and who's voiced by Patton Oswalt. Ratatouille is quite possibly one of the Pixar's best film and best, yeah, like I said, written film. Um, this is actually the fourth Pixar film I watched in theaters. I watched it with my aunt back in 2007, and I actually remember enjoying the story of this film. It goes again on the goat. Um, so when I was watching Ratatouille, when they were cooking Ratatouille, the way they make it, some people say it looked exactly like pepperoni, but no. When I was watching behind the scenes, it was actually Roma tomatoes, zucchini, eggplant, and squash. Yeah, that's what I believe when I was watching the behind the scenes how they make Ratatouille. Yeah, very memorable. Wally. All right, now we got Wally. This is probably the memorable Pixar film, emotional, very cute plot film, and it's also It might be Pixar's first romantic film between robots. Um, it takes place in a very far future that Earth's pollution is very bad, and humans have to evacuate and live in outer space for a while until Earth is back in. I'm sorry. That Earth is back in better shape. Um, it's a really enjoying another enjoying film once again. Pixar, like I said, Pixar knows exactly what they're doing. Wally. Oh, this is tricky. As it goes on a goat, it's still one of Pixar's best films from 2008. Now we got up. This is quite possibly the perfect family film ever made because it's really emotional, fun, comedy, and this is actually pretty hard to because this is really a joying film, and it's really sad seeing uh it goes on a goat. I do like how the main character promised his wife that they'll go to South America to put the house over there. But at the end of the movie, he did it, and it's a really good Pixar film, and it was one of the most emotional Pixar film I watched, and it's very enjoying as well. Like I said. All right, now we got Toy Story 3. Oh, I remember back in 2010 when it came out. I watched this film as the whole family in theaters. We watched it at AMC, and I remember it was a long line when we were about to go see it, and I feel like this film had some emotional they put in, and how writing how the writing is still going well, and so this is basically 11 years after Toy Story 2 or 10 years. And I do like how the story was pretty different. I still think that this should have been the final film since Toy Story 4 is there and the fifth one is on the way right now. Um, it has a really good, perfect ending where it should have stopped right there. But the other shorts like Toy Story of Terror and Toy Story Hawaii, they're fine though. But I feel like the fourth film was the extra ending was like an extra ending. So for me, I'm gonna put Toy Story 3 on the A tier. It's for me, it's not the best out of all of Toy Story 1 and 2. It's not it wasn't that much better. It was just like, you know what? I changed my mind. The goat. I actually really enjoyed Toy Story 3 to be honest. Cars 2. Uh, some of you guys might hate me for this. Cars 2. I did saw in theaters. I remember liking it, but as an adult right now, I feel like the story was completely different, and but the first one has nothing to do with spies, to be honest. And the second one, it feels like a standalone sequel. The idea of having of spies for a sequel literally came out of nowhere. I get what I like what they wanted to do though, but I feel like it should have focused on more racing than spies and agents. So basically, Mater was the main character of the film, but besides Lightning McQueen, it focused more on Mater. For me, I'm gonna put it uh the B tier. If I put it in C tier, I know some of you guys will hate me for this, but some people, yeah, I'm not like I'm not like copying what the critics are saying. I'm just like using my own opinion, like my own comment thing. But Cars 2, I still enjoy it though. But for me, I just don't like how the idea came out of nowhere. It just doesn't really focus on the story where it continued where it left off. Now we got Brave, Pixar's first princess film, and Brave was pretty underrated. I do like the story where she doesn't like that much being a princess, but she's just like more into dude, what do you call it? Who cares? So Brave is like an okay film. It was like an average Pixar film. I'm gonna put it on a C tier. For me, it was I just couldn't really get into the characters though. I do like the villain of this film, and it was pretty interesting. Um, Everything else in there was fine. The animation was really good though, but I just put on a C tier. Now we got Monsters University. Oh yeah, Pixar's first prequel film, and mm, probably somewhere A or B tier. Um, I remember wanting Monsters Inc. sequel, where we could see Boo again from the first movie at the ending. But what Pixar do, they want to do like '80s color film type of thing. I mean, the idea was okay though. I'm glad to see Mike and Sully again, but I just kind of wish they do a sequel instead of the prequel like what we got. I'm gonna put it on the A tier. I still enjoy this film. I did watch it in theaters, and yeah, I still like this movie. Inside Out. Ooh, I remember when I first saw the trailer. I was actually surprised that I could. I was actually surprised like how the idea was made and how colorful it was. Um, Inside Out was actually one of Pixar's best film, surprisingly. Um, I'm gonna put it on the A tier. It's not quite the best Pixar film out of all, like I said. So Inside Out was pretty much well written, and the characters were funny too, and I do like the main character. It basically focused on emotions and the main character Riley. Um, this movie came out 10 years ago, which is surprisingly wild. And yeah, it deserves on the A tier. The Good Dinosaur. Um, this one was subpar, to be honest. I watched it. It wasn't really what I expected it to be. It's probably Pixar's underrated film. I didn't really like the character of the movie, and but I mean, I like the idea of dinosaurs though. But the character for me was bland. Um, I remember back in 2013, Disney's 23 Expo. They had original designs of the dinosaurs, but and the main character too. So what happened is that back in 2015, back in early 2015, they had to do some quick changes for the film because I think the director stepped down, but instead it was the other director to make this film. It had some changes. It felt it. I did hear that this film was completed like a month before it came out, and I watched it, and it wasn't that what I really expected it to be. I'm actually gonna put it on a D tier. The Good Dinosaur, probably the not so good dinosaur. Finding Dory. This was 2013, the same year of Disney 23 Expo. I was hype as hell for a sequel to Finding Nemo, which is called Finding Dory, because I wanted Finding Nemo 2 before Finding Dory was revealed. Finding Dory was actually pretty good as I expected it to be. Like the animation was slick. Um, I like I like how Dory was a little more serious than the first film, in my opinion. And yeah, unfortunately, I didn't see this in theaters. It had some, but the other characters weren't that much. But the other characters weren't that much memorable. But only Dory and then Nemo and other characters were. And I do like the octopus in the film. I thought he was pretty cool. I know he's voiced by Ed O'Neill, the funny guy. So Finding Dory will go on a B tier. It was a pretty chill sequel. Kind of wish it was Finding Nemo 2 for me, in my opinion. All right, Cars 3. Okay, you guys go ahead and hate me for this. Um, I didn't really like the story of this film. I mean, I was pretty hyped to see like what was actually going on in the trailer when Lightning McQueen crashed, because this something tells me that Lightning McQueen might be retired of racing, and which definitely technically they came. This one was honestly too predictable for me, and the Jackson Storm wasn't technically the villain. He was just like the brand new racer, which is like faster and stronger than Lightning McQueen. And then Cars 3, I'm actually gonna put on a C tier. I honestly, there's like three Cars film. I only enjoy the first one more because I like how they done with the story. I like how they done well with the energy. But two had a different type of energy, and the third one kind of focused where it left off in the first film. But yeah, that's pretty much it. All right, now we got Coco. I still like. I actually really enjoy this film. When I first saw a trailer, some people say it's a ripoff to 2014, The Book of Life. Like when you die, you go to the land of the dead. Like it had the same like type of feeling, like the same type of energy, but it was completely different. Um, I do like how well done, like how beautiful the animation was, and the main character too. This movie actually did make me cry when I watched it. I do like how well it was written. I do like the characters in this film, and they're actually memorable as well right now. So Coco deserves the goat. I actually adore this film so much, and recently there's going to be a sequel coming out. It won't be out till 2029. I feel like this should have been the only movie not getting sequels, but let's see how the sequel will turn out to be in the future. All right, now we got Incredibles 2. Oh boy, I remember a long time ago, I wanted The Incredibles 2 so bad. I begged and begged wanting Incredibles 2 to happen. We all wish for it had to happen, and it came out true. The Incredibles 2. I thought the plot was okay. Not better than the first one, but for me, I thought it was as good as the first film. But for me, the villain was kind of lacking to me. I was expecting the villain Screenslaver to be like the one from the trailer, like the one with the glowing eyes. But the for it was pretty bland for the character. I'm actually gonna put on a tier. Actually, mm, A tier. Toy Story 4. Yeah, I actually didn't expect Toy Story 4 to happen, but it was actually an alright film. It's actually my least favorite Toy Story film. Um, I do like how it like the story goes to like the carnival, and the third one was like the daycare. I like how they make it more like how connection from other films. Well, despite like how Cars done it, it was actually different though. By the way, in my opinion. So Toy Story 4, but the ending for me kind of made no sense. I mean, like, how in the world Bonnie forgets about Woody? Woody's like one of the most rarest toy out of all, and the character Forky was pretty funny. I do like him, and for me, I'm gonna put on a B tier. It's not as, for my opinion, it's not as good as the other or Toy Story films. I just thought it was fine. Onward, Onward was actually really good, to be honest. Tom Holland, Chris Pratt, they're actually Star Lord and Spider Man film in my imagination. Onward was actually a pretty good Pixar film, and I do like how the animation goes. Some people say this is actually not part of the Pixar timeline film. For me, this is my theory about this. It might have taken place in Andy's imagination, probably, or probably in a very far future, some meteor crashed into the Earth's crust, and all the magic came out and turned people into like um like unicorns and and yeah, like, or trolls and stuff like that, like wizards and stuff like that. Onward had a really good story with it, and mm, probably A tier. This movie came out during the COVID pandemic, like 2 weeks like 2 weeks in theaters, and then everything like movie theaters and grocery store, or not grocery malls, everything shut down due to COVID. It was happening. Um, it made like $130 million for box office, but if it wasn't for COVID, it would have made like $500 million. Oh yeah, thanks to COVID. Pixar's Soul. This was Pixar's first movie not to be a theatrical release due to the COVID pandemic. It was supposed to come out June, but pushed back to Thanksgiving, and then pushed back to Christmas. I watched it. I loved it. I love Jamie Foxx in this film. I do like Tina Fey in this film. Soul deserves the GOAT tier. Some people. So basically, this is actually quite different than Coco, because for Coco, when you die, you become a skeleton. You become a living dead skeleton. But for Soul, when you die, you are like a little blue talking thing. Basically, I don't think it might be Pixar's. It might. I don't think it's part of the Pixar timeline. Probably not. It might have been different, or probably another universe for Pixar. Um, it's very. I do love the music in this film. I do like how the jazz music is in it, and it also has some memes too. And yeah, Soul is a pretty good streaming Pixar film, thanks to COVID again. All right, now we got Luca. And this is actually Pixar's second film to be released in streaming due to COVID again. I actually do like this film so much. So basically, a sea monster wants to like explore the human world and wants to like enter the race to get like a motorbike. And also, he also goes to school in the film. Um, I do really enjoy Luca. I love the animation. I'm pretty sure it might be connected to Monsters Inc. because sea monsters exist in the Pixar universe. Or it might take place in a. I don't. I'm not really sure. So for Luca, goes on the A tier. Yeah, it goes on the A tier. Now we got Turning Red. This was almost going to be a theatrical release, but instead it went to straight to streaming again due to COVID again. Turning Red, for me, I thought the film was The main character for me was a little annoying. Other characters weren't that interested in me. Basically, the plot of the film is where a 13-year-old becomes a red panda, and she wants to like get cured, which is actually the same night during the concert she wanted to go to, but instead she went to the concert, and then her mom turned out to be the giant red panda, which is actually the size of Godzilla. I thought the plot was okay. Turning red, I'm actually gonna put it on the C tier. Um, it's not as quite as good I thought it was gonna be. Now we got Lightyear, Pixar's first time being theatrical release since the COVID pandemic was pretty much over. Lightyear, I really, I remember watching the Buzz Lightyear cartoon from the Buzz Lightyear Star Command on VHS. It also had a TV show too as well, but it wasn't Tim Allen. It was Patrick Warburton, also known as like Joe from Family Guy and Kronk from The Emperor's New Groove. But this Buzz Lightyear is voiced by Chris Evans, also known as Captain America. Basically, it's not a Pixar film. Oh, excuse me. It's not a actual Pixar movie. I'm gonna tell you why. Because in the beginning scene, it says this is Andy's favorite movie, or whatever how you guys say it. B tier. It was actually an alright film. Thought the writing was okay, and it was a box office disappointment. I think it was due to like people like didn't have that much interest on a spin-off sci-fi film, but I thought it was alright. Now we got Elemental. Ooh, this is actually a quite original focus on elemental fire, water, wind, and earth. Um, it's basically a second romance film for Pixar, and I thought it was actually really good, enjoying to watch. Again, the writing was fine. The characters for me were okay, and I'm actually gonna put on a A tier because I was really like very eye candy to this animation, like for the water textures and fire and wind, like everything else is. They actually did more. I actually give more credit for the animation and this besides the writing and characters as well. All right, the last one, Inside Out 2. It was actually a great sequel. They added more they added more emotions in this film, anxiety, ennui, embarrassment, and envy. I actually do like how it takes place a year later when Riley becomes a teenager and started like make some changes. Um, I do like it. I feel like the plot was almost the same as the first film, and it has the same type of energy and environment. I'm gonna put it in the A tier where it is. Um, yeah, that completes the Pixar tier list. Um, yeah, that's pretty much it for now. So guys, thank you for watching so much, and hope you like this video and subscribe to this channel. I'll see you guys very soon.